Alright, we're back out here in the shop. Finally, we're able to get back working on the Mustang. I had to order a hole saw bit, the 2 1/16. That is the size of my gauges, and pretty much every gauge that I use is the same size, 2 1/16. But they don't sell a hole saw bit here. I went to Lowe's, Home Depot, and Ace Hardware, and it skips the 1/16. It goes from 2 to 2 1/8. 2 1/4 and so forth. So I had to order it. So we've been waiting on it. I went and got a quick release for it. So the hose saw bit ended up being like 26 bucks for it, and then I got the quick release and it was 24, 25 bucks for it. So let me show you what we're working with here. All right, that's the hose saw bit that I got right there. I had to order this one. This is the number for it. I got it from Summit. I'll put that in here at the end, but I ordered this from Summit. So I got this, and I went and got this at Lowe's, and it's a little quick release deal for it. So this was 24 bucks, 26 with some change, and same thing here, $26 for this time you get it, and it's 12 something by itself, but when you get it shipped, it turns it up to like 26 something. But I have the hole saw we need now because we got to move our gauge cluster is what I am chasing. So finally, like I said, I've been waiting on that hole saw bit to come in, but we need to move all of our gauges that are right here because the down bar for the A-pillar bar, it needs to slide over, and it can't because it's against the gauges. So we're going to move all of these. All three of these are going to go to the panel right here. So they've already been little drill holes, so I know exactly where they go in the center. And then also we can keep up with what's going on now. Before with the GoPro, it was hard to see these up here, but now moved them through the center where all my gauges are going to be in one spot. So I'm able to put a GoPro right there and shine down on the gauges to keep up with what the car is doing during runs. So if we can go back and look at anything about it, so it's the only way I can data log anything because I don't have a computer, so I got to use the GoPros. But that is my mission. I've been out here kind of late. I had running to do this morning, so it is still it's in the evening here, and it is hot. It's like 101, I think, right now. The actual temperature, I mean, it's hot. So I was just getting everything ready for tomorrow. I'm gonna come back out here in the early morning, and where it's nice and cool, and we're going to get these gauges moved and put over here and get those bars notched tomorrow. But I'm going to take that panel out now, that way I ain't got to do it in the morning. Simple to do, a couple of screws and undo the wiring in the back. So cool beans. All right, let me get this panel out. All right, show y'all where I got to tonight. I got all the holes drilled in this, which bit worked great on it. I had to let the battery charge up a couple of times, but it wasn't a big deal. I got it repainted and looking good. I got all of these wires and the gauges down on the inside here. So I'll start rerouting all of the wires here and the gauges. Like I said, this is a perfect fit, so I can't complain about that. They got little pieces that hook right here that stiffen them up, but I don't even think I really, just very, very, very minimum play in all of them. They're about the same. So I mean, that's perfect. Cool beanos. All right, well, it is still hot out here. It is getting late. It's about 7:30, and it is still miserably hot. It's like 92 out here in the shop with the fan off. I'm already going sweating. The neighbor's gonna get mad at me. I got the radio on. I'm jamming out here, so I'm gonna call it a night and come back out here in the morning and finish up moving all of the wires. And so yeah, me and the poot is done for the day. Ain't we, Preciously Poo? Listen to me. But alright, I'll holler at y'all taters tomorrow. Alright, I'm out here this morning for the sun gets out and it gets hot in here, so we're gonna stay out here as long as we can. Shouldn't take me real long to get all of this bundle here rerouted, tuck loose, which is pretty simple. This one The first one is my oil pressure, second one was trans temp, and the bottom one was water pressure, or temperature, water pressure, temperature. So oil, trans, water. And that's the same way we're gonna, I'll probably put oil in the center this time, and then trans over here and water temperature over there. I think that'll work pretty good. All right, I need to get all of this wiring moved to the center. All right, let me get busy. Man, I hate all of this. I'm having to cut things loose to get it to reroute, so I got to keep, keeping up with everything that I'm doing. But I hate taking out existing wires and have to do it. I'm always afraid I'm going to mess something up. But, well, I got this back down here to at least the bottom from out of here. I had to cut this wire loose, which is to the dimmers to the light. So once you turn your headlights on, the gauges are dim. And then I've had to snip the transmission one loose. It's up here for I can reroute it. And no, that's to the water pump. That's to the water. Up here, that one. This one goes under transmission, which I'm going to have to cut it loose too and reroute it over to here, because it goes down behind all of this wires down into here, and then there's a panel right here. So I need to move all that. All right, you see where I'm at. So I'm still messing with this spaghetti noodle here. All right, let me get back busy. All right, there's my gauge clutch. I couldn't find the little clips that go on the back to hold them in, so I just took some black gasket maker, and it was a nice fit anyways, just very minimum loose. So put a little bit behind it right there and stuck them in there. I'm gonna let these dry before I get them put back into the car. Set these down for a second. Alright, set those down, but I got all, let me walk over and see what I got. I'm gonna take a break now, let all this dry. It's been about an hour, 2 hours out here. I had to cut a few things loose and get them moved, but I got all the wiring over here now. So this is trans temp, this one is oil pressure, and this one right here is the water temperature, which all these goes to my panel. So now I got to move all of those. I've gotten left to do, I got to hook the ground up, which is right here. I got to run me another ground and get me some connectors. Connect this, get me a little bit more ground. I need a little bit more room to ground this. That way I can take the panel down if I need to, and I got room here off of this. This is kind of tight, so I'm going to ground it back down here to this where I have the switch panel grounded to. So I think that's going to work out perfect. But that's my ground. I got to hook ground up. This orange wire here goes to the dimmers on the light switch, which I had it hooked up before, and which is right there. I just nipped it that way I could get my hand back on it into there. So this shouldn't be that bad. I'm gonna hook it back up anyways. That way they will dim. And then I got the not trans, but the tack, the shift light to hook back up. And then I can start putting all this back together. I got to get the panel back out and put this on, which is no big deal. Screws, and then notch these pipes, and then that's it for today. But the main thing was to get this panel, all of these moved for this right now will fit like it's supposed to. All right, well, cool beans. I'm gonna take a break and let that dry. All right, we got everything back up, plugged up, and working again. So we got trans temp, oil pressure, and then we have our water pressure. I don't know why I keep saying pressure. Water temperature, oil pressure, trans temperature, and then of course our air to fuel ratios right here. Tack. I got to hook up my shift light's not hooked up. No big deal. I'll do that in just a second. But I just wanted to make sure everything else was up and like it was supposed to be. All right, cool beans. Let me finish hooking this up. All right, I think I'm about done. I got these bars notched down here. pretty well. I got them up here the same. I don't know if I quite like them like this right here. I've tried holding the halo up there to get me a better measurement off of it. I think I need to turn the bars around. They're a little longer coming down right here up, so the bend starts a little bit more in here, so I can flip them around and get a little different angle out of them. It's about the same angle, just a little different. You know, it's not quite the same, but so it ain't the same if it's not the same, huh? Anyways, it's hot, but I think I am done. But I got this one notched. It looks pretty good down there. I don't have a tubing bender, so we just use a, what the hell? I don't know why it keeps doing that. I just use a 4-inch grinder wheel right there and just make me a mark. I just made some marks on the tubes. That way I knew where to go. So the next step in this is to get this halo in place, but I need a helping hand for that. And but that one down there is looking, I don't know if you can see that or not. I gotta get all this carpet out of here, but it looks good down there too as well, where I got it laid up at, and it's hitting right up there. They're hitting the same right there, so it's going to be real tight against this one because it rubs right here and it's hitting that bar. I might end up having to move. See, I don't, you can't see down there, but the steering bar brace comes across right there. So if I take it loose and I cut it, is what I was thinking. If I cut it right there and get the bar in place like I need it, then when we get the bar set, just weld a tab and weld it to the bar. Then that should stabilize the thing. And then when I change everything again, get a different steering rod and in here, then I can change it. All right, well, cool beans, that is me for today, man. It is hot. So I'm wrapping it up, but we got the gauges back in place. I got the bars notched, so the interior's put back together. So cool beans. All right, I hope y'all enjoy, and I'll holler at y'all taters later.